Welcome to Crotone Entertainment. I'm Chris.
I'm Bree.
And today we're painting Power Rangers Heroes of the... I don't know where I was going with this intro. It's Dayne. It's Dayne from Power Rangers. He's a dog hunter.
No.
He's Dog the Bounty Hunter.
He's Dayne the Bounty Hunter.
Dayne the Bounty Hunter. Oh, I love it. Anyway, we're starting with some Carmine Red here. And we're starting some Dryad Bark. I was going to say both Citadel colors, but they're very much not. One's a Vallejo color, one's a Citadel color.
Are you done?
We are off to the races here, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't put this as a we. This is not a we. This is all on you.
Here we go. Anyway, Dayne wears some Dryad Bark looking pants, so we're painting his pants Dryad Bark. Dayne is also a red puppy. I'm pretty sure he's from the same planet as Anubis Kruger, but he has red face rather than blue face.
Are you painting in pink?
No, it's Carmine Red, bro.
Looks pink on this thing.
It does not look pink on this thing at all. I think your knee injury has gotten to your brain.
My knee injury. Oh no, it's getting more red now. Maybe it's just the way the.
Is the monitor weird for you?
The monitor might be weird for me.
You're weird for you. Anyway, that's going to take a while to dry. So when that goes ahead and dries, go ahead and take the Caribou Crimson or any red wash and take a black wash. We're trying Army Painter Dark Tone. This is an Army Painter black wash. And, I decided after some bad experiences with Army Painter paints to give their washes a try. And I got one of their speed paints, still haven't tried it yet. And let me tell you something about this wash.
What's up with this wash?
I have a difficult, contentious relationship already with this wash. The coverage is fine. The color is good. But it is super glossy.
That's just shiny pants?
That doesn't necessarily bother me. But what bothers me is that Army Painter knows it. So anyway, we're going to use two different blacks. We're going to use a Vallejo Game Color Black, and we're going to use a Citadel Black, and we're going to do two different blacks. As I've said before on the channel, the Game Color Black comes out a little more glossy than the GW. So he's wearing a Baby Gap t-shirt that is black, and he's wearing black boots. So we're painting his shirt black with the GW because it's a more matte finish. We're painting the boots with the more glossy,
shiny. So you can have some shiny
Vallejo
boots?
color. But here's what I mean by Army Painter knows that their paint is glossy. They sell, and it's like a matte finish or whatever it's called. In the same paint bottles, they sell a matte finish that specifically says it gets rid of glossy appearance. They know their washes do this. So they're selling you another product to undo what their product does. And that annoys me. It annoys me that they know this problem is there, and rather than tackling the root of it, they will create this other product to make it work. Now, I will say this in their defense. The other product works very well. The matte finish to get rid of the gloss.
Yeah.
It actually gets rid of gloss better than a number of matte varnishes I've used in the past. When I was painting The Mandalorian for Star Wars Legion, I used a lot of this dark tone, and it really made the whole model way too glossy. And then when I did a coat of the matte varnish, it actually really salvaged everything and made it look good again. So I'll give them credit there that they made a product that does indeed solve the problem. And I will also give them credit on the price point. Buying the dark tone and the matte varnish to get rid of the glossiness, both from Army Painter, cost less than buying one pot of Citadel Nuln Oil.
Oh, you didn't have to take out a loan for it.
I didn't have to take out a loan for it. So I'm going to give them that.
Okay.
But still, kind of annoys me. So anyway, now that we've painted those black, by now the washes you put on the red skin and the pants will have dried. And then while you're doing the next highlight, the black is going to dry, so you're going to pull out your black gray. So you're pulling out the first two colors again. That's the Dryad Bark again, and the Carmine Red. And you're going to use those original colors to go ahead and highlight themselves.
Lovely.
Now that you've done the washes in there, it's darkened up the crevasses.
Ooh, crevices.
The crevices. It's darkened those up. And now you can use the original color again to go over them and get a difference in color depth. So Bree's going to say something while I take this drink.
What am I saying? No, you can't have it back. I'm fighting with the dog, guys. We're painting a dog, and I'm fighting with the dog.
That was fine radio. That was fine radio you did there. Anyway, you're just highlighting the skin. You're leaving the red and the wash area in the deepest recesses. And otherwise, you just
like the way you're saying words tonight.
You don't like the way I'm saying words tonight?
I don't like the way...
say shrimp for everybody.
No, I'm not. You're mean.
Bree doesn't say shrimp like normal humans. When Bree says shrimp, she puts an E in it, so it comes out shrimp.
I still say that's your ears. Shrimp is shrimp.
That's definitely an E.
It's not.
That's an E.
It's not.
And you can disregard everybody in the comments who says it's not an E because they're clearly just siding with you.
Or maybe they all were born below the Mason-Dixon line as well.
You're not allowed to be born in Florida. That's against the law. You have to move here, be miserable, and either leave or die here.
But I was born here.
Because I hate Florida. Anyway.
But I was born here.
Oh, stop. We're doing a video on the Power Rangers, guys. So tell us everything you know about Dayne.
He fought the Omegas.
The Omegas fought him.
Fought him, and he beat the snot out of Tommy. And that's about it.
Okay, so Dayne was introduced in the comics.
Yeah.
As kind of an out-of-nowhere Boba Fett-esque Deus Ex Machina that Zed was able to hire to hunt down the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers under Tommy with Rocky Adam and Aisha. And he did some Batman-level research on them.
Yeah, he was. I do remember that he was like stalking them and checking on them, and
he was ready to show up. And his energy whips can also turn to a shield. He had an EMP dampener that basically turned off their blade blasters. He knew their fighting styles. He knew exactly how to attack them. He knew the order he was going to fight the Rangers and all that good stuff. And it actually took the Omegas showing up to defeat him. Not necessarily so much because the Omegas are that much more powerful and skilled, which they are, but.
He didn't know them.
He didn't know them. He wasn't prepared. He did not expect that fight coming to them. So now we're using the black-gray to highlight the Baby Gap t-shirt here. So Dayne, and then the reason all that kind of comes up is filler.
Filler.
So his coat's actually torn on the left arm, revealing that the Baby Gap t-shirt is actually a Baby Gap long shirt.
Ah.
Long shirt, is that a word?
No, long sleeve shirt is the word you're
looking for. I like long shirt, it's shorter.
No, long short.
I like long shirt because it's shorter.
Long shirt sounds like what you wear to bed.
That doesn't sound like that at all. That sounds like pajama shirt.
No, it's a sleeping shirt.
Sleeping shirt. My sleeping gown. Allow me to change into my sleeping gown and nightcap. There's more gravy than I've grave about you.
What?
Yeah, the Christmas Carol.
Oh, that's right.
The Muppets' best work.
Yeah,
Guys, Muppet Christmas Carol. Since we're releasing this video in December of 2022, Muppet Christmas Carol is the best version of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens ever made. I'm sorry, it is.
And Gonzo is a better Charles Dickens than Charles Dickens.
This is fair. There's literally never been a better version of A Christmas Carol ever made. Even Scrooged, which was very good, did not hold a candle to Michael Caine's deadpan performance and the Muppets being the Muppets. How does this relate to Dayne? Dayne, if he was in live action, would basically be a Muppet.
Because Anubis Kruger was basically a Muppet.
Anubis Kruger was basically a Muppet as we pulled out the neutral gray and we painted his jacket in the neutral gray. Now, I have not decided what color I believe his jacket is. And I say that because I've read the comics where he first appeared,
right? And
I've seen some of the cover art and the comic art, and then some of the digital art, which is from official and some unofficial sources. Either will indicate that his jacket is white or like a very light gray. So my first question is, why did they think it was okay, and why did we go ahead and decide that Dayne is going to have an overcoat that, when combined with the whoa, dogs are freaking out. Combined with certain other design elements on it, remind me a little too much of the SS. I'm not okay with that. I'm just going to say that right now.
Because he's an evil dog. Dog man.
But anyway,
evil dog man.
Fortunately, the coloration doesn't go so far down that. So we're gonna paint the belt black gray, and then we pulled out our pretty sweet ochre. It's pronounced ochre, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
I had Google Voice tell me that.
You didn't know it was ochre?
I did not, but you don't get to.
I fully admit, I said chitin.
You Ted Mosby chitin into chitin. Okay?
Yeah, I did.
Ochre is a word that doesn't even make sense the way it's spelled.
You know why I know ochre?
You know the only word that makes less sense than ochre? Q. Q is literally pronounced like its first letter, and all the other letters are just there to support it and do nothing.
You mean like
a line?
We're going to stand in a queue.
We're standing in a queue.
Everybody queue up.
This just goes to tell you that the British are crazy, because they needed like 5 letters to spell a 1-letter word. And also they eat beans in savory tomato sauce, and that's not how you're supposed to eat beans. So anyway, all the yellow parts are being painted with this ochre. He's got kind of like a gold chain that kind of holds the jacket together. And then he's got gold trim on the jacket and the belt buckle and all that. But I didn't want to do it as actual gold. I thought it would look better as yellow. I did save the chain itself to be gold, but I didn't want to do the rest of it that way. And I think I made a good decision on that. You'll see in the final model later. But we've got this pale gray that we are painting on his little doggy underflaps here.
His little doggy chins.
Little doggy underflaps. And this is also going to serve as the first highlight for our questionable jacket.
You know what the worst part of this is? So you've kind of turned me into a dog person.
Yes.
With letting me have dogs in the house and everything now.
Accurate.
So I have a really unfortunate part when it comes to Dayne of also still going, but doesn't he look like the bestest of puppies?
No, he does not.
Because, oh, look at him. He's such a good puppy with his little white underchin.
He looks like a jackal.
I like jackals. Just like I like coyotes.
The movie The Jackal.
That's not one with Bruce Willis and Antonio Banderas?
No, Richard Gere was in The Jackal.
Richard Gere was in The Jackal.
It was not a great movie.
Then I probably did not see it.
I didn't care for it that much.
Was it Antonio Banderas in the Gere?
I don't think so.
Which movie was Antonio Banderas' when he was a spy? No, he wasn't a spy in that. And I'm not pulling out...
Spy Kids? Wasn't he the dad in Spy Kids?
He was the dad in Spy Kids.
I never saw Spy Kids.
What, you didn't?
Never seen Spy Kids. So anyway, we've got our dead white, we've got our Retributor armor, any dark gold would do. But the white is to highlight his doggy underflaps. I don't know what I'm calling those. We're going doggy underflaps.
It's chin and neck. It's literally his chin and neck.
Why is every video we do a train wreck?
Because apparently you forget how to word.
Hey, wait for the end of the video. I put something in at the very end that is cool. It's like a real thing that people do. It's like a real video element. It's neat.
You did an editing thing?
Kind of. I mean, it turns out it was really easy to do. So why wasn't I doing it before? I don't know. Anyways, gold chain is going to get golded.
You can't word anymore. Words are hard for you.
Gold chain is getting golded all over the place here. It's practically gold R. I need gold. So the 2017 movie was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed the 2017 movie, and the Krispy Kreme product placement was the best product placement of all time.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you know what? Just friggin' embrace it.
Just lean into
Let's
it.
Just go with it.
Lean into it.
It was fantastic. Anyway.
Krispy Kreme gave us money. Let's make up the center point.
That was some pretty fantastic stuff. That was good.
What did you just give?
I'm painting his whips gold.
Yeah, but you just painted his face.
No, I didn't. It just looked that way because that's how I was holding the miniature.
Okay. So I was like, oh my god, does he have a gold tooth?
So I found some stuff on how best to use a camera when painting miniatures, and I might actually use it, but I probably won't.
I mean, does it take effort?
I don't know. I haven't actually watched it yet, so...
Wait. You just know the video exists. You don't know whether or not it's useful?
I bookmarked it. So the Abaddon Black is going to touch up the nose. You know, there's constantly a joke. I make the joke online fairly regularly that we are the premier place for Heroes of the Grid content. And I make that joke because... I think somebody else said it at some point, and I've decided to run with it. We've talked about it on the channel how we're claiming that title mostly on the virtue of the fact that we're pretty much the only one consistently doing Heroes of the Grid content.
It's legit that.
How sad is it for the Heroes of the Grid community, the Renegade Games painters community?
But you guys got stuck with us.
That we have decided we're the premier content creator.
Hey.
That's dark for all of you guys. Anyway, we're highlighting all the yellow with the moon yellow.
But I would like to point out, we're very likable people.
Half of us are.
I'm a very likable person.
That's kind of what I was implying.
I was thinking you were implying that you were the likable person, and I'm just not.
Absolutely. You know, there are people who like me, and I don't know why. I have two types of people in my life. People either really like me, or they really hate me. There's very few people in between on me.
So there's your friends and your family?
Well, my friends hate me, too.
That's not true. Okay. Your three closest friends adore you.
I hate the people who love me and they hate me. Anyway, we got this pallid witch flesh because we're going to do his energy whips. And in typical Chris fashion, I did not even remotely try to find any artwork with his energy whips. I just completely made up what they're going to look like.
I know, as you should.
So
That's sticks with power weapons.
So it gets even better. I did a thing at the end of the video, and I'm going to admit to this now because we all know I don't edit. This is an ongoing joke. I did a thing at the end of the video that's like a real thing, but I'm also going to have to pause the recording before we get to the very end of the video real quick. So I got this frostbite here while the Pallid Witch Flesh is drying. This is going to be the final highlight. This is the takeaway for this whole video. The frostbite right here is the takeaway for the whole video. Dark gray to light gray to this P3 frostbite is this to me one of the greatest color combinations in all of painting. I did all of the skin for all of my Legions of Everblight for War Machine in this style. I love this look. It comes out as a debatable blue-white or debatable pale blue gray. It is my favorite color buildup there is, and it was all originally based off of the old Citadel Space Wolves Gray, which is now a contrast paint and considerably darker. They got rid of this color from the Citadel line, and I had heard somewhere that P3 is actually made by the company that made the old Citadel line. I don't know if it's true, but much like Vallejo being a Spanish company, I decided to believe it. So I will repeat it constantly that P3 is the same company that made the old Citadel miniatures, and Frostbite is identical to the old Space Wolves Gray.
It's true.
There's not even the tiniest of hue variation. GW has one. Don't even know what the heck it's called. Forgot the name of it. It's supposed to be the replacement Space Wolves Gray.
It is not.
It's considerably more blue.
Yeah.
Frostbite is one of my favorite freaking colors to work with. It's such a good color that I got off track on people hating me. We were talking about something else that I've completely forgotten about. It's irrelevant. I'm never going back to it. You're never going to hear my thoughts on it because I grabbed 2 random contrast paints and I'm just painting them over this Pallid Witch Flesh. And this is where we're getting our energy whips from. Whoopah!
Oh, whoopah.
That's the sound that whips make.
Yeah.
They go whoopah. So anyway, what was the thing we were just talking about?
I don't know.
And then Frostbite distracted me.
We were talking about
I could
the fact
hit
that
pause.
people love you and hate you.
I could hit pause and go back.
Nah,
I'm never going to. I'm never going to. So the takeaways, P3, you should sponsor us because I love Frostbite. Army Painter, you should sponsor us so I stop talking bad about you even though I said some nice things. Games Workshop, you'll never sponsor us because I'm not going to sign your NDA, and also you guys probably hate me, and that's okay. Renegade Games.
You are a betrayer.
Renegade, you should probably ban me from all your social media and refuse to ever sponsor me because I'm sure I'm doing more damage than good. But anyway, this is Dayne. We're going to show you some photos of him right in a second, and we're going to talk about his rules for Heroes of the Grid. So you know I meant Age of the Grid, right?
No.
Anyway,
I'm
rules for Age of the Grid. Here's Dayne. He's finished. Dayne. Threat value, some huge number. I think he's threat value 8. He has got the ability to tag a ranger, kill that ranger, score extra points towards winning the game, and all the models of a certain faction need to reroll successful hits against him.
I don't like that.
He's up on our file for Age of the Grid. Try him out in your games. We got to get some battle reports up. Like and subscribe for more content. Hit the bell button for notifications. We will see you guys next time.
Was that the thing?
Play Age of the Grid.
Bye.